a factor of like, you get out what you put in. And I spend a lot of time training, and that's why I'm probably getting the results that I am, exponentially grow. And like, I want him to make these scripts his own. And so like, I'm like, even when you're not working, I want you waking up in the morning, in the shower, going over these scripts, like, best time to do this is yesterday. Second best time is today. Because really, it's the only way, like, if you're at a point where you feel like your business has plateaued, it's really the only way to kind of grow and scale your business.
Okay, great. Yeah, we're here with Daaron. Daaron, thanks so much, man, for making the time. I know it's a busy time of year. It's a busy day for you. Appreciate you, man. So thanks for jumping on. I just wanted to ask you real quick, right? What has been your experience, so far with PowerISA, and obviously what kind of results have you gotten with your ISA? Tell me about that.
So it's been a really positive experience. Like, everyone's been really supportive in terms of like communication, just like all around level of support has been great. My first ISA, like, I didn't really click with, and that wasn't really anything to do with him, but the transition to swapping out to someone new who I have really clicked with was pretty seamless. And the results, like, I'm getting great results, but that's also a factor of like, you get out what you put in. And I spend a lot of time training, and like, I don't expect him to like come and learn my business model right away. So like, I spend a lot of time training, and that's why I'm probably getting the results that I am. I mean, like, yeah, sure, I'll give you guys credit. Like, you guys had some really great candidates, and it made my decision, really tough, because I was like, oh shit, like, there's a couple of guys, like, I want more than one. But the results have been great, and like, it's an ongoing process where I'm continuing to train, and I'm watching the results, like, exponentially grow. So yeah, it's been great.
I love it, and you're so right, Daaron. I mean, and I want to, tell people the truth, and I want to give them like the right expectation, right? I have never seen a successful campaign. I love doing these interviews. I've never had one of these interviews where the agent wasn't involved. Like, they took an active role in helping train the ISA, monitor results. I wish it were like, oh, set it and forget it. We'll just do everything for you. Just sit back and collect those listing appointments. It doesn't really work that way, right? I wish it did, man. I'd be number one. I'd have, 1,000 people working for me. It doesn't work that way, right? You got to find an agent willing to put in the work, and you're one of those guys. So give people a little bit, if you can, a little bit of detail. Like, what does that mean? Yeah, I had to put in the work. I had to help train my guy. What can you like run us through the first few weeks with your ISA? What was that? You listen to their calls? Would you role play with them? What did that mean for you, helping them learn your business?
For sure. So I guess the first few weeks, I really wanted them to learn my business model, how my CRM works, how I want everything to operate. So it wasn't too much of like cold calling or warm calling at the beginning. We've like, I told him, I gave him the scripts, and I'm like, I also teach cold calling at my company. So like, I do kind of have a leg up in terms of that, but I'm like, here are the scripts. I want you to memorize these scripts. And it's not because I want you to go and regurgitate it on every call, but I want you to get to a point that like, you could be looking out the window, like, daydreaming. And then when someone picks up, you're snapped back in the game, and like, you don't hesitate of what you're going to say. And like, I want him to make these scripts his own. And so like, I'm like, even when you're not working, I want you waking up in the morning, in the shower, going over these scripts, like, so that it's just second nature. And then, I'm also in a lucky position where like, I've got colleagues, we kind of hired, like, I've got colleagues that I work closely with that they also hired from PowerISA. So I'm like, okay, well, let's just make this as efficient as possible, and let's, alternate training. So like, I'll train my ISA as well as theirs, and they'll train, the two as well. And that way there's two different training styles, and then we'll have them role play against each other. Now I know everyone's not in that, unique situation, but like, I've found that's really helpful. And it's just like an hour a day. I put in an hour a day in the morning training, and I find at first, like, this was like kind of like a growing pain. Like, I was learning. I'm like, okay, why don't I make some calls? You can hear my style, hear like how it should be done. But I found that the most effective way for him to learn was just like, shit, let's just throw you in the deep end, start making some calls, and I will give you feedback, immediate feedback right after those calls. And that was probably the most effective way for us to kind of, expedite the results.
I got you. Yeah, I love that because, what I tell agents is that the faster you can do that process of make call, let's review call, and let me give you feedback on call, that, feedback loop, the faster you can do it, the more times you can do it, then you're really going to see the skill set just grow, right? Just very, very quickly. I think if people take too long to make that feedback loop happen, call for 2-3 days and I'll see if I have a chance to maybe listen to a call or two once a week. It's just going to take that much longer. It's just going to take that much longer. I love that. That's what we recommend.
And agreed. Like
people should do that.
Like I started like that where, I'd have him do his calls like with the first ISA. And then at the end of the day, I would be like, here's some feedback. And it's like, it just wasn't flowing. Like he's like, I don't remember making that call like that. So your feedback's like useless to me now, like 6 hours later. So yeah, that's, I find working the best.
I got you. So I get it now. So you immediately gave him the feedback right after, as soon as the call was done or as soon as the calling session was done.
Yeah. Boom, so we'll do daily call sessions for an hour, and I just have him we're on Google Meet, and I can just work in the background, right? And I'll just be like, go hit the phones, and I'm listening to all his calls. And as soon as he gets off, I'm like, okay, you should have said this, or I really liked you said this, so that it's immediate.
I gotcha. And just to be clear, you're listening to only his side of the conversation, right? You're evaluating what he's saying.
I mean, I'm listening to both sides, so I can hear both sides. Yeah, I mean, shit.
It's like a voice.
Wouldn't be as effective if I can.
I know, right? So is it like a speaker? They're on speaker, or are they on?
Yeah. So so that was another thing, is that if he was calling from the computer, I could only hear the one side. So I got him to download the mobile app, do it on speakerphone, so that way I can hear both sides.
Perfect. Okay, that's what I want to get to. That's what I want to do. Because if you're actually, this is a really great point, because I get this question a lot. If you're in an area where you cannot record calls, or you don't want to add the request, say, hey, can I record this call? Because that's not great for conversion. That is the way to do it. I love that, actually. That's an awesome way, because you don't have to record the call and you're still getting some live monitoring, even if it's only an hour a day. Even if it's only an hour a day, that's going to move the needle. It's going to make a huge difference. I love that. So for the folks in those, where you are, the jurisdiction where call recording is a no-no, or it's a big deal, or you don't want to, try something like this. I love that, because that's a great tip. And that's a great tip to do.
And
that.
So you know what,
yeah.
Sorry to cut you up here. There's a lag there. I don't mean to cut you off. So there's another hack where if you're using for instance, I'm using Ring Central for my my dialer. And at first it's like, this call is being recorded. And I'm like, shit, who the hell is going to want to answer? It just sounds like a call center. You can create 100%. Your own, this call is being recorded. And instead of saying something, I just create dead air. So then it doesn't actually say that.
100%. We do that too. If you're handling it the way you're handling it, you don't need to do that. If you're doing live monitoring, that's the way to do it. I mean, 100%. So I love that. So Daaron, you're putting in the work. You're listening to calls every day, an hour a day. You're giving them immediate, not at the end of the session, at the end of the call, you're giving them immediate feedback. What has your ISA been able to accomplish? Let's get specific, right? Has it been able to give you booked appointments, live transfers? What's been the outcome of putting in the work these past few months?
So, I mean, we're probably, I think I'm 60 days in with JC, and right away, we've already had 10 rental deals closed. To me, rentals, nice. I send them off to my team. I don't do rentals. So, and I also use all those rental leads. I'm like, shit, go burn these leads. I don't care. Go practice on them. They're the baby leads.
Why not?
Don't call them multi-million-dollar buyers until you're ready. So I made sure it's crawl before you can run, or whatever, walk before you can run, so that I wanted him getting the rental process down. And I'm even repeat the rental process to me, specifically in Toronto. It's probably different everywhere. And then once he got really good at that, he was making transfers, probably 1 to 2 transfers a day. And we've closed 10 leases. And then now he's getting to buyers, but we only got to buyers a couple of weeks ago, because I wanted to make sure he was ready and comfortable on the phones. And I was just out on showings yesterday with someone that he booked me. Like,
Love it.
I booked the call, I don't know, whatever, 3 days. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so I've been out within 2 weeks. He's already booked me someone on showings with. So
I love that. I love that. So, that this is what I also recommend for a lot of folks. Not every market's like Toronto. We have like pretty decently priced leases, or you can make some decent money off of leases. But if you don't have like a lease, a set of leads or a lease market in your area, call old leads, like old buyer leads, people that you haven't called in a while, right? That's another great solution. So I really recommend that too. That's a great, great, great strategy, Darren. Get them on the least valuable lead, that if they mess up, it's not that big a deal. You said it the right way. Don't call my $1 million buyer. You're in Toronto, right? $1 million not that hard to come by. So you don't want them wasting those guys, those leads. Those leads cost good money. Practice where it's safe to fail. It's safe to mess up. You're going to mess up the name. You're going to mess up, whatever it is. I mean, that's fine on those leads. It doesn't hurt as much. You don't want them getting scared to mess up. You don't want them getting scared to say the wrong thing. They got to go through the motions to actually get good at this job. That's a great strategy. Start them small. Miss small, aim small, miss small, right? Aim big, miss big. So yeah, got to be careful with that. I love that strategy. So Darren, to finish this up, man, what would you say to someone that is thinking of, hiring PowerISA, getting a caller on their team? What would you recommend for them?
I'd recommend the best time to do this is yesterday. Second best time is today, because really it's the only way. Like, if you're at a point where you feel like your business has plateaued, it's really the only way to kind of grow and scale your business.
I love it. Darren, thank you so much, man. Appreciate you. We're recording this on New Year's Eve. So Darren, I appreciate the time. I know it's a busy day for you. Thank you so much, man.
Thanks, Gus.